A data table is an in-memory representation of a single database table, which has a collection of rows and columns. DataTable stores data as a simple spreadsheet with rows and columns so that each piece of data can be identified based on their unique column and row coordinates. In DataTables, columns are identified through capital letters or their names, and rows are identified through numbers. There are multiple ways to create data tables, and here are some examples. Build Data Table builds a reliable structure for a data table. It allows the customization of the number of columns and the type of data for each column. Read Range gets the content of a worksheet or a selection from that worksheet and stores it in a data table variable. Read CSV is very similar to Read Range, but it works with CSV files as input. Data scraping enables the user to extract structured data from browser, application, or document to a data table. Here are some of the manipulations that we can do to data tables. Add data column can add a column to an existing data table. The input data can be of data column type, or the column can be added empty by specifying the data type and configuring the options. Add data row adds a new row to an existing data table. The input data can be of data row type or can be entered as an array row by matching each object with the data type of each column. Merge data table appends a specified data table to a current data table. This operation is simpler than the join data type activity, as it has 4 predefined actions to perform over the missing schema. Lookup data table allows searching for a provided value in a specified data table and returns the row index at which it was found, or can be configured to return the value from a cell with given coordinates. Filter data table allows filtering a data table through a filter wizard using various conditions. This activity can be configured to create a new data table for the output of the activity, or to keep the existing one and filter out the entries that do not match the filtering conditions. Join data tables combines rows from 2 tables by using values common to each other. It is one of the most useful activities in business scenarios where working with more than one data table is very common. Generate data table can create a data table from unstructured data by letting the user indicate the row and column separators. This option is extremely helpful when data is captured from scanned documents or web scraping. In order to be able to process the data, the creation of a data table is the first step. The activity allows the definition of separators, but also allows the identification of elements using their position on the screen. For each row is similar to for each loop, as it iterates through all the rows in a data table and performs the same action. This can be very useful for manipulations that have to be done individually for each row and cannot be grouped at column level. Clear data table clears all the data entries in a data table. It can be very useful with data tables that are used as intermediary tables for data moved from one table to another. Output data table is used to write a specified data table into a CSV format. This can serve as an intermediate step in a process or as a final step when, after several manipulations, a data table contains only several values. Remove data is a group of two activities used to remove rows or columns from an existing data table. Rows can be identified by their index number or by inputting the data row as object, and the columns can be additionally identified by their names. Remove duplicate rows can remove duplicated entries while keeping only the first occurrence. Sort data table can be used to sort a data table using a specified column as the criterion. Besides indicating which column to use in this respect, the user can also choose whether the sorting will be done in ascending or descending fashion.